going to give us a speech. Now, Tyler has always been, since he came to us a few months back, he's always gave us interesting, provocative speeches with his own style and flair that you'll see momentarily. Now, I don't have the speech title with me, but I'm sure Tyler will tell us the speech title and give us a little bit about the speech before he goes into it, because he's going to be delivering this for real next week. So help me welcoming up Tyler Johansson. Tyler Johansson.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all allowing me to share a speech with you this evening that I will be actually giving next week at a conference. The conference I'm attending is the Association for Fraternity Advisors, and in my role, I am the Director of Expansion for Pi Kappa Phi Fraternity. So over the course of the last 6 months and the course of my time at Pi Kappa Phi Fraternity, I have seen our organization start more than 15 new chapters at different universities. And what we have done over the last 20 years is really perfected the system and the process in which we use to start new chapters. And we've gotten so much better in partnering with the universities in which we are bringing a new fraternity and a new chapter to. What information I would like to share with you all this evening is the best practices that we have seen, not just on our end, but from the university's side and the Interfraternity Council side as well. So the title of this presentation is What to Expect When You're Expecting, Why Fraternity Expansion is Like Having a Baby. So several of the things that I'm going to do this evening are going to correlate to having a baby. The first is the 4 stages of planning and preparing for an expansion. So, the 4 stages: first, conception; second, incubation; third, birthing; and fourth, nurturing. So, I'm going to go through each 4 of those stages and talk a little bit about the best practices in each. The first, conception. Probably a little different than actually having a baby. Fraternity expansion happens with 3 individuals. The 3 groups are the national headquarters, the IFC, Interfraternity Council, and the university student life staff. It's really important to have all 3 of those people in the room and at the table, because they are the ones that are going to have to raise this child and really support this process throughout. So making sure that everyone is on board and on the same page is really important, because the last thing you want to have happen is somebody not want to have this new chapter or new addition to the group be there. So you want everyone's support throughout this process. The second stage, incubation, is the most important to be successful. It's where all the preparation and planning goes in. In my practices, I have noticed that it's best to come up with an agreement, have a plan, lay out everything, write it down, say this, if this is to happen, this is how we will handle this situation. This is what I will do for you in order to make sure you're successful. And really map it all out. And then make the commitment. Everybody should make the commitment and sign the sheet of paper that says, this is what I will do throughout this process. Because how many times have you heard a story of a mother and father of a child, or wife and husband who are having a baby, and they get in an argument because the wife thought that the husband was going to do more throughout the pregnancy, or they're battling these different things. So really outlining that agreement and showing what it looks like is extremely important. The third stage, which is birthing, is when you actually go to a campus and start the new chapter. So the birthing part is very similar to the conception. We expect everybody there to be in the room because sometimes you need to hold the hand. You need to coach them through the process of an expansion. And occasionally, if things aren't going so well, or an expansion can be very tiring for the headquarters staff, you might need an epidural. You might need a break to take some of the pain away. So it's important to have that or support the headquarters staff and have either the IFC or the university staff there to give the headquarters professionals a break and get their mind off of the expansion process. The fourth and final stage of fraternity expansion that correlates to having a baby is the nurturing part. Now that you've successfully set up a group on campus, you have 30 to 40 new members, these guys who've never experienced fraternity before and doing it for the first time. It's important to support them along the way. You don't expect your baby to be born and then start walking. You don't expect it to start talking. You have to teach those things. So it's important to train the leadership within the fraternity. It's important to be there and advise and coach and educate. So the member education piece is an integral part. You should expect all entities in this process to participate in the member education. The university should expect the headquarters to educate the members, but the headquarters should also expect the university to help out with that education and advising. And the IFC should be there to provide a supportive environment for the new organization to be a part of. So as you can see, those are the stages of a fraternity expansion that correlate to having a baby. And we feel that following those 4 steps and keeping everyone accountable is extremely important. And just like having a baby, during fraternity expansion, communication is key. Making sure that everyone is communicating together will allow all 4 of those stages, conception, incubation, birthing, and nurturing, to take place successfully.
Thank you very much, Tyler. So now we know what to expect.
Yes.
When we're expecting.